In case some of you didn't know, I'm actually a very big Harry Potter fan. In fact, this shirt is actually based on a Ravenclaw sweater that I have in real life. As you can see the similarities, except for the Ravenclaw symbol. I changed it into a pocket because it was easier to draw. I've read all 8 books and watched the movies. Dobby deserved better. I've also picked up small details and created tiny theories within the books, not the movies. I don't like the movies. Also, disclaimer, these first 2 are the only ones that I come up with by myself, and I'm probably not the first to come up with them. So let's start with number 1, the other platforms. I was listening to the audiobook while drawing when I got to the part with platform 9 3/4, and I thought to myself, if there's platform 9 3/4, then there should be platform 9 1/2, and other platforms like 10 1/5 should exist. And if they were underground, then they would be negative. This next one is much more recent. So I was listening to the audiobook while drawing, again, and I was on the 5th book in the 9th chapter, titled The Woes of Miss Weasley. For me, this is a very memorable chapter because Ron and Hermione received a special role in the school, and Mrs. Weasley wants to celebrate. So she threw a tiny party. One of the guests had a magical eye that could see through objects, and Mrs. Weasley wants him to check the drawer in the upstairs drawing room because it's been rattling and rattling. They think it's most likely to be a boggart, a common type of house pest that turns into its victim's worst fear. The weirdest thing about a boggart is that nobody knows what it looks like when it's alone, since there's nobody there to scare. But the problem was that the previous owner of the house was completely insane and probably used some crazy dark magic on the drawer. So they needed Moody to check if it was a boggart or something much, much nastier. So he checked and he said, yes, it is a boggart. But that's where the weirdness comes in, because nobody knows what a boggart looks like when it's alone. Here's what I think it looks like. So my theory is that Moody would be able to see a boggart in its natural form, since the boggart is not aware that Moody is looking at it, and thus would be in its natural form. This next one is a little weird. I got it from the internet. So in case you didn't know, it is canon that Cho Chang married a muggle when she was older. There is a theory going around that the muggle that she married was none other than Dudley Dursley. I do not think this is totally likely, but I think it would be an interesting turn of events. This next one is even weirder than the last one. It's from my dad. His theory is, have you ever wondered what Dobby smells like? Yeah, because that's what people think about in day-to-day life. I actually asked him about it, and he said he thought that Dobby smelled like old wood or rotten wood. Moving on to another house elf-related theory. As all people who have read the 2nd book of Harry Potter know, house elves get freed if you give them clothes. So that means that the one chore house elves can't do is laundry, since then they'd have clothes and then they'd be free. I've run out of theories, so now I'll tell you interesting facts. Voldemort's Patronus is a Dementor. J.K. Rowling got the names of potion ingredients from real plants. Harry and Rowling share the same birthday, 31st of July. J.K. Rowling's favorite animal is an otter, which is Hermione's Patronus. When Kingsley Shacklebolt became Minister of Magic, he sent Umbridge to Azkaban. And another cheerful fact is that George named his son after Fred. That's not sad at all, and I'm still not upset that he or that. I hope you guys couldn't hear that. Okay, one last fact before I leave. In an interview, J.K. Rowling said that muggles couldn't brew potions. So I suggest you put down that cauldron. See ya!